Hey, welcome to Compassion Masters TV, where we share our lives because you matter. We're your host. I'm Miss Toy, here with my son Layton.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks again for another episode.
So last week we talked about mothering and the important role that mothers play in our kids' lives. We know fathers too. We're going to talk about that in the future, so we're not discounting you fathers. But I did want to mention what the topic is today. Angela, thank you for your suggestion, entitlement. And because I think that kind of goes hand in hand with us as parents and how we guide our children. And people have been giving me a lot of compliments on Layton, his manners, and how insightful he is, and they love his intellect.
I don't know. Okay.
So I just want to know if you guys even talk about that with your friends? Is entitlement even an issue?
I don't know. I think when we're a certain age, I don't know. No, we don't talk about that. No. The short answer.
Because the person that gave it to me was more my age.
Yeah. I don't know. We just don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, not that I don't care, but we're talking about different stuff.
True. So.
But we know people. Like, I know people who are. Like, I know people who grew up a certain way and had nice things and whatever. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. And
True.
You weren't,
because that's just how you were raised.
Yeah, you didn't choose to be raised the way you were, get the things you got. But when you get to a certain age, you're held accountable for how you act when you get those things or how you treat other people because they might not have certain things, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely know people like that, though.
Okay, well, share with the Compassion team.
Oh, my God.
How you feel you turned out the way you turned out. I mean, I take credit for some of that, but some of it is just you and the way you think.
You have to. Well, yeah, obviously, like the parents set the framework. They, like you, raised me the way you did. Like as far as manners being super important. If someone was gonna give me something, like let's say they give me a cookie, and you made sure before I ate it or before I did anything, like say thank you or say something like show gratitude. And so that was from a very young age. I was for sure. So it starts there, and then it's up to the excuse me, it's up to the child to take it to the next level if they care about that. And fortunately I did. I think maybe thinking back on it, maybe not having dad around made me want to lean more towards being a better influence so that I could be a good influence on younger people, like the influence that I didn't have. So I don't know, I thought that was cool versus being a bad influence.
I love your YouTube channel because it's called Say LA.
Oh, God.
But I love it because you're tackling, so far you've tackled anxiety, you've tackled how to match your clothing, you've tackled the importance of having mentors, and what else did I leave out?
I've done a bunch of things, but basically it's just all about helping the youth,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter your age, but I'm targeting the youth because it's like, like I just said before.
They need guidance and help.
Yeah, you just... Someone cool, someone fun, not super serious and uptight.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make good content for them, positive things they can look at.
Yeah.
That doesn't come off corny because, a lot of times when a lot of things positive just come off corny to a lot of people. That's why they don't want to do it.
That's true.
So, I just want to plug in some videos. I'm giving you a shout
out, Belen, because Belen directed her son to Layton's channel, and he's doing better with his matching of colors.
That's tight. I appreciate
That's
you.
Cool.
Thanks a lot. That means a lot. But yeah, so I don't know. You basically just it's like I said, the parents are the framework, and it's up to the kid to take it, a step further. Kids do what they think is cool. So if they don't think it's cool, they're not going to do it. If manners isn't cool, if it wasn't something you grew up with, and it's just a habit, then it's it's harder to just adjust to that and for it to just become a reflex. Now I had someone in Wingstop a little bit ago was like, he was a cashier and he was ringing me up and he was asking me questions like, oh, do you want, extra sauce? Do you want napkins? Do you want whatever? And I was like, yes, please. No, thank you, whatever. And he was just like, oh, you got some good manners. Like it was weird for him. And I was like, yeah, I guess. I just kind of laughed. And he's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like, you know, your parents did a good job. I was like, okay. It was weird because he was like the same age as me. I was like, I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
that
Kind
was
of awkward.
nice.
But
I do agree that my parents' generation, which is where I learned it from, they cared more about that. Nowadays, I don't hear it mentioned as much. But I
yeah.
think anybody raising anybody, still give them those old-fashioned values because it means a lot when they get into the workforce and people start recognizing them for management roles. It means a lot.
Yeah, it shouldn't be old fashioned at all.
Yeah.
It shouldn't because it's really not.
Yeah.
People say it's old fashioned. They say that, you know, but when you get to a certain point and you get to, you know, like you said, you start working or you start interacting with people, even kids
It's important.
that get put on sports teams, like those kids stand out more because there's something different about them. And a lot of people don't even know where to put their finger on it. Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but, you know, I really like him. I really like her.
True.
They just have a vibe to them that people, you know,
Yeah.
gravitate towards. So manners,
They mean something.
I don't know,
Yeah.
looking people in the eye,
It's
you know,
important.
I don't, just little things, but they go a long way. So
They do.
like I said, but you have to make sure that the kids think it's cool because if it's not cool, they're not going to
They're
do
not
it.
going to do it.
It's just not. Yeah.
Well,
So I
anybody-
thought, like not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to keep doing it and keep like increasing my, you know, manners and,
Yeah.
you know, just how I spoke to people and whatever was because I would get compliments. And so then it made it cool for me in my
To
eyes
do
that,
it.
you know, almost, I mean, that sounds like a problem thinking about it. Like I'm not looking for compliments, but like when
No.
you're a kid, it feels good. And so you want to keep being nice. You want to keep, you know, showing manners and,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, carrying yourself a certain way, and it just becomes natural. So anyways, it just has to be cool to them.
So, do you agree? We're not going to stay on this topic too long, but when I was doing my research, it was talking about arrogance and narcissism both being a shield that people develop to cover up something that they're insecure about. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
I mean, sometimes, but
Yeah, but not all the time.
I don't know. I think sometimes, I just think that it's just a nice way to package up why somebody is being a douche. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it's a nice way of just being able to
Saying
say, like, obviously there's times where you have people that are rude and whatever, and they're doing it for protection because they were picked on when they were a kid for being overweight or for like having, you know, slurring their words, or, you know, I don't know.
Right.
Kids are mean, so they grow up and they end up being, you know, angry adults because for whatever reason. So I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm just saying that I think, yeah, that's the case sometimes, but I don't know. I think people, they learn who they're going to be from a very young age, and it just kind of
Just is what it is.
sticks with them. Yeah, and it's up to them, obviously, to change it if they
Yeah.
want to. I mean,
And
some
I
people
do think
some
that
people don't.
you can change and become whoever you want to be. I do want to say to the parents that we are big influences on our kids. We have a lot going on in the world, and we want to make sure we leave the world in a good state. So I did jot down a couple things about good mothers. And I'm only doing that because I'm thinking that this topic was chosen, entitlement, because maybe people just kind of want to know how you turned out the way you turned out. And what I want to say is we went through all the bad teenage stages, me and Layton, doing it just him and I. And I went through it with my mother and father, and I empower you to continue to just hang in there and realize at the end of the road, there's light. And that
She's going to get her
Yeah.
fortune cookie mode on right now.
I got to give you that. Let me give you 6 qualities that I read about that I agree with.
Yeah, but
for a
before
mother.
you move on, the parents have to understand that it's not simple, but it's just, there's a few bullet points that you set in this framework that now, I mean, I've known now that I'm a young adult, but now especially having the baby, it's I look at things differently. Like, what am I, she's obviously still a baby, but what am I going to do when this comes up, or if she does this, or she doesn't want to share with other kids or whatever, how am I going to, you know, fix that? So I think that, well, like when I was in second grade, whatever, you used to come to the elementary school and teach self-esteem classes.
Yeah.
And that did a lot for me, and I know it did a lot for my other classmates too, because
that's good.
because that's not a normal thing that we learn about, and that should be.
True.
So self-esteem is an important thing that you want to teach your kids.
Yeah.
And then self-awareness, you want to be able to teach them that too, because sometimes they feel something, but they don't even know how to describe what they're feeling, or they don't know where it's coming from, whatever. So being self-aware is really important. I'm trying to think another one. Those things, just basically teaching them more about themselves, having confidence in themselves.
Okay.
Those are things that help. But
That
if you
helps.
have I'm not going to name names, but
Right.
a friend of mine who I know for sure is entitled and is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. I know for sure didn't have that from his mom.
Oh.
It was more so just do whatever. They
Yeah.
have a lot of
You
money,
can afford it. Just toss 'em.
and that little boy grows up into an adult feeling the same way. And if you have anything less than that, then you feel like there's something wrong, or you're owed the things that you have or that you had before. So
I think our spiritual backgrounds grounded us too, because you don't view the world the same as people that don't have a foundation.
yeah,
A good role model, setting boundaries, be respectful, supportive and loving, be patient, and forgive your child. Remember where you came from, because
forgive.
you have to forgive. We went through a lot.
Oh gosh, no, I will say there was I laugh, but yeah, you were forgiving too. I remember, well, obviously I can't forget when I got my first tattoo when I was 16.
Yeah.
Obviously I know that's wrong, I get it, but she told me not to, and I still went behind her back and did it when she was at work. And so I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and she was upset, and the before you butt in, because I know she's about to do it, she's a professional at that, ladies and gentlemen. We used to have a skate park in the backyard that she paid for, obviously, and had my godfather and different people build. And so that was a treat for me to have that right in the backyard. And I got in trouble. She saw the tattoo, and she was just kind of like, wow, that's a shame. And without screaming or yelling, it was just more so, I think that was more scary, the fact that she wasn't really reacting the way I thought she was. And so I'm asking her, like, am I grounded? Am I in trouble or what? Like, no, it's fine. You can do whatever. Like, you can go skate tomorrow. I'll think about whatever I'm going to do. And I would rather her have grounded me or hit me or something, because that drove me crazy, not knowing what was going to happen. And so anyways, I went along with my day, and I'm upstairs in my room. I fall asleep. And then the next morning, I wake up early. I wake up early in the morning from banging and crashing and all this stuff, and I look outside in the front yard, and there's a big old truck in the front, and a bunch of wood crashed and broken up in the trunk. I mean, yeah, in the back of the big rig. And then I run downstairs, and she's sitting in the exact same spot on the couch with her little newspaper, pretending like she's reading it. And I look in the backyard, and these men are hauling off piles of wood in the backyard, and my rails, they took everything. So she cleaned it out overnight. So with that being said, but I'm getting to the point though. The point was afterwards, she has to forgive me after that. She broke up my whole childhood dream. You
remember you said, "You're ruining my life."
Whatever. Yeah, that would be funny to you. Anyways, the point of me telling that was, she was super mad, but she didn't show it. She was forgiving after the fact, because she was like, hey, I have a lot of tattoos, and I can't be a hypocrite. I would wish you had waited until you were 18, when a couple years, first of all, when it's legal, and then second, when you can really think about what you want to get or have some meaning or something, instead of just trying to be rebellious. And I respect you for that, because I don't know how I already reacted to that, and you were forgiving after all. Obviously, I was upset with you at the time, but I brought it upon myself, and you still were like, hey, well, I have tattoos, and, it is what it is.
And that's why I say it's always important to remember yourself and what you went through, because you can't be a hypocrite with your child. That's how I've raised Layton, pretty much remembering where I came from. And that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure everybody knows we went through the rough parts just like everybody else. He come out nice, and he's polite, and I'm nice and I'm polite, but I went through stuff with my parents too. So I'm just encouraging you. I want you to have some inspiration from the fact that it is light at the end of the tunnel. So we're going to go out on that note. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for subscribing. We have doubled our numbers in the last couple weeks because of you. Thank you. This is a show for everybody.
Yes.
We've
doubled all 20 of them.
Yay. We're compassionate people. We love you and we appreciate you being here. We are going to change the world. Just hang in there with us. We're going to make this a better place to live. I want to say thank you to all the registered nurses, the custodians, the technicians, the administrators, everybody at the hospital. You guys make this place run so well. We're going through this crazy pandemic, and yes, it is tough, but continue to wash your hands, continue to wear your mask, continue to be distant from people. Just, we're going to make it through. Thank you, custodians, Tanisha, Jimmy, Vernon, Greg.
I don't know. Yeah, shouts out to Greg. I don't know who it
James,
is, but thank you, man. We appreciate all the hard
people
work,
I
man.
mostly work with. Thank you to Carlisha Shine.
Sure.
You keep my life funny.
All right. Well, is that it?
I think that's all my shout outs. But I do want to remind everybody that it's an important presidential election and that we need to cast our votes, whether we do it by mail or in person. Make sure you vote.
The young people clicked off right now.
Well, maybe they did. Don't forget, my book can be purchased at powertripthebook.com.
Yes,
we also
just
have
get it
a
all
wonderful.
out. Just let them know
we
everything.
also have a wonderful website at CompassionMastersTV.com. Check it out and follow us on Facebook. Thank you again to my
follow
son.
us on Facebook. Shout out to everybody.
You for
vote,
another great
get
show.
some stuff, feed your dog, and don't forget to wash your car before.
And don't forget,
because dang, do you have anything else
to tell your boys about Say LA? YouTube, subscribe.
Oh my goodness.
My son, he's doing a good job.
Well, we appreciate it.
Oh, and when you subscribe,
thank you, everybody.
wait a minute. No, when they subscribe, they got to tap the bell because everybody keeps telling me, I'm not getting notified. Well, some phones don't have the bell, but if you have a bell, click the bell.
Every phone has the bell. You just have to download the YouTube app.
Oh.
It's simple. Just don't do it on Safari.
It's simple.
And it won't come up. Anyways. Just
right.
Subscribe. You don't have to do what she's talking about.
Have a
She
peaceful
just barely
day,
learned about
everybody.
notifications 2
Love
days
you.
ago.
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah, all right.
Bye.
Bye.